Russian drone strikes have damaged grain silos and warehouses in one of Ukraine's ports on the Danube River. The river ports are now the main export route for Ukrainian grain after Russia pulled out of the Black Sea grain deal last month. Well, Step Fasten is in Dnipro in central Ukraine. Step, it bears repeating that Russia has been relentlessly targeting the infrastructure that Ukraine relies on to export its grain. Tell us about this latest attack.
Yes, absolutely. After a brief lull, now the grain storage facilities near Odessa have come under attack again. Several waves of drones came in from the Black Sea. The authorities here say they managed to intercept 13 of them, but it's clear from the damage that we saw that several storage facilities have been hit, and the damage is quite significant. In the last couple of weeks since the grain deal collapsed, tens of thousands of kilos of tons of grain have been destroyed. And this also comes at a time when Ukraine has said they want to open a humanitarian corridor. They want these ships to go sail again because, of course, this export is very important. And what we heard is today, one cargo ship, this is not a grain ship, but this is a cargo ship that was stuck in the harbor since the start of the war, has been sailing now. So this is going under this humanitarian corridor that Russia, I have to make this very clear, Russia has not agreed to. So there's a lot of risk in this plan that Ukraine has. They say Ukraine military will defend this humanitarian corridor, but of course shippers are very worried, insurers are very worried. So this is a bit of an experiment, and we have to see where this goes.
Step, I want to ask you about another aspect of this war, this conflict that you've been working on that's really interesting, which is the partial destruction of the Nova Kakhovka Dam. That was a couple months ago now, but the long-term effects are only starting to be felt. What did you find?
Well, absolutely. This is a huge disaster. It's basically a double crisis. Of course, this is a war zone, and this is a disaster as well because 700,000 people, that's what aid organizations say, they are depending on food, on water handouts, I have to say. Water supply is lacking there. They have no drinking water. They have no irrigation water. So the farmers are really struggling there as well. And when we went to the banks of the Kakhovka reservoir, we saw a complete dry area there. A lot of people are struggling. They also are waiting for water amidst daily shelling. So we went with a group of firefighters who are volunteering to bring water to one of the most dangerous areas, as you can see in our report.
A dangerous but vital mission. Firefighters quickly drop off drinking water in Stepnohirsk, a frontline village that is all but deserted. Those who remain are too fragile and too poor to escape the constant shelling.
We're taking it to another village. There are currently 67 people, mostly pensioners. We'll bring these bottles to them. Doing this is probably a call at the heart. How can I leave them? These people have nowhere to go, they have no money, and nowhere else to live.
Olena tells us she was hit by shrapnel while delivering bread to other villages. Still, she won't leave.
These are people who have been living directly under shelling for a year and a half. Stepnohirsk has been under a massive attack. Still, I think these people will continue to live here. We constantly remind them, offer alternatives, have conversations. Some people leave for a while, but they often come back.
Because of the dangers, these firefighters only deliver once a week to the villages without running water.
Aid workers are risking their lives providing people with a very basic need, drinking water. While the true impact of the destruction of the Kakhovka Dam has yet to be felt, for these people here, not only their lives, but their livelihoods are at risk as well.
Ukraine says Russia destroyed the dam on June 6, causing widespread flooding. Some 90 people died or are missing. Russia denies it caused the disaster and blames the Ukrainians. And this is how one of Europe's largest water reservoirs looks now. The vital water source for towns, villages and farmland has turned into a large plain. Living by the water all his life, Sergei still can't believe it's gone. 2 months after disaster struck, his fruit and vegetables are rotting.
When there was a sea and no war, life was good. There was water and lots of fish. We had no problems with either fish or fruit. Now life has become hard. Everything must be watered by hand and carried in buckets. See, it's all wasted now.
Sergei can only hope it will finally start to rain. If not, his income will dry up very quickly. A water shortage in a war zone. A disaster also for these firefighters, who are struggling to extinguish the near-daily fires sparked by shelling, putting those left behind in even greater danger. Step Vasen, Al Jazeera, Stepnohirsk, Ukraine.